so bright. Strawberry champagne on us. Lucky for you, that's what I like. That's what I like. Lucky for you, that's what I like. That's what I like. Sex by the fire at night. Silk sheets and diamonds.
Hey, what's up, Bomb Squad? This is Nick.
And DC Kool-Aid.
And Lisa.
And we coming at you with a video with Nick, because we want to get his input for the world so we know where he's at, what's going on in the world. Mama's going to start it off with the, and we're going to try to make this one short. We don't want to make this a lengthy ongoing thing.
Not too long. With the events going on in Charlottesville, Virginia, we live in Virginia. And Charlottesville is not that far from us. And it affects us because this is the climate that we're living in. This is the climate that my son is growing up in. This is the climate that your kids are growing up in. And whether you're black or white or a mixture of any of the two or any person of color, this affects you. And it ultimately affects your children more because we're adults and we can take it. But kids, however, aren't born to hate. They're not born to recognize that this person is black or this person is white and I hate this person because they're a different color than I am, or a different religion than I am, or a different socioeconomic background, or two mommies. So
I'm mama, daddy.
You know who you are.
Go ahead.
So with the situation the way it is, and the young lady who lost her life protesting against it, and my son getting ready to go back to school, and me fearing that because he looks the way he looks, he has to bear the brunt of the society now that has always been racist. It never stopped. It never slowed down. It just was behind the curtain. And with this political situation that we're in now, he just pulled the curtain back and just let everybody out. And everybody who was a neo-Nazi or white nationalist or white supremacist or whatever your particular brand of hate or prejudice is, he just made it so that they're okay with saying it out loud. Before I got on this tape, I listened to a woman who was literally sitting in the grass holding one child while another was sitting on her leg, and she said that she would like for there to be another genocide of the Jews because she wants to make sure her white children can succeed. And even her husband, who has the same neo-Nazi faith that she does, had to look at her and be confused for a second. So this is the climate that my son is in. So we wanted to know, since you're going back to school and you have a lot of people from a lot of different places where you go to school, what are your thoughts?
On like the neo-Nazi thing?
Any of it. Has someone made you feel a certain way because you were black? Have you heard anything? Has anybody said anything to you?
Well, I mean, if you're like black kids in school, you don't you're just automatically supposed to be cool now because that's how everybody thinks you are. It's because oh, he's black, he can say the N-word, or he wears clothes like this, you know. And that's kind of where everybody holds you to these standards. It doesn't really affect me too much because it's like none of that's happening around me. I don't know what it's like to, you know, be scared, you know, to go outside because you think somebody's gonna be watching you or gonna follow you or come after you or something. I don't know what it feels like to be in that situation. So I don't know if I can really speak on it that much.
So if someone approach you, and let's say anybody approached you and came at you with what's going on right now in the world, and they try to lure you somewhere, how would you handle that? They're already calling you a nigga, keep in mind.
Oh, so they're like being mean to me.
Right.
And they're trying to, okay. I would try to ignore it for as long as as long as they're just saying stuff, then it doesn't really matter like to me. But if they start touching me and start grabbing me and pulling me and stuff, I would first have to try and get them up off me, because I don't know what they have. You know, they can have a knife, a gun, or whatever. So I'm gonna just try and get it as far away from them as I can. And then it's a hard decision because I don't know what I would do after that.
Come on, tell us.
Well, like, because I'm in that situation, so I don't know what I'm able to do.
See, that's the thing. We all the things that you haven't been, that hasn't happened to you, I'm glad, because that's why we do what we do. We live where we live. We make sure that you are. That's why when I tell you to make sure you pay attention, that's why I tell you that. That's why when I want you to get your education, I tell you there's nothing worse. It's bad enough to be a black man. That's what you're going to be soon. You'll be 13 this year. And before you know it, the teen will be off your age. Before you know it, you'll be out of high school. I mean, it looks like it's a super long time before any of that happens, but it looked like it was a super long time before you went to middle school. And here you are in the 7th grade.
Right.
So we tell you to do the things, and because I left Alabama because there was nothing there for you. There was nothing there, and I would have went anywhere and did whatever I had to do to make sure that you didn't have to experience this stuff.
Because it's like right now,
and you may never experience it. You may go the next 4 years, and other than what goes on the news and what goes on in other places, because the reality is the reason that people like that happened in Charlottesville, because the people who do wrong are the loudest. They are the loudest. They scream to the top of their lungs. For a group to want to ride around in hoods, they do the most flamboyant stuff. They set crosses on fire. They bomb schools. They protest children going to school. You're mad because a statue is coming down. Okay, we'll get one for your house.
What would you tell the world, well, other kids and adults, from your perspective, about this situation? What would you tell them?
Like if they were in that situation?
No, period. What's going on in the world? Like, what would you tell them? If you had a say on the news, what's going on in the world, what would you say?
I don't know. It would probably be that.
Do you condone hate?
No.
Do you condone hate crimes?
No.
So what would you tell them?
Well, any type of I don't know why, because I don't feel like racism should really be a thing that everybody holds dear. I feel like if we just stop caring, because there's some things that you don't want to stop caring about. Obviously, you don't stop caring to feed your dog or something. But if we just stop caring if we just stop caring to care what everybody else looks like, or to stop caring what everybody else looks like on the outside or what they do, if you just focus on you, it wouldn't really be a problem anymore. Because it's not oh, what is he doing, what is she doing? It's just none of that. So you're focused about what you're doing, you're focused about your education or your work or whatever. And I feel like that's how it should be. You should be focused on you, not what your neighbor looks like, not what your best friend's friend looks like. Just focus on you.
Good answer. And if people focus on themselves, they wouldn't be focusing on all this other crap that's going on in the world.
It's
just sad.
It amazes me how young people are racist. Because your favorite rapper is black. Your favorite football player is black. You stood in line to get them Jordans.
But you know what's crazy? The church I go to down the street, well, my main church is in D.C., where I grew up, was predominantly black. And the church out here is predominantly Hispanics and whites, which I don't have a problem with anybody, but when I go to church, it's this family there, and they have little kids like 5 and 7 and maybe Nick's age, it's like 3 of them. And they like in steps, and it's the grandmother, and then there's the daughter. The daughter looked like she might be in her maybe 30s, and the grandma, she looked like she could be in her 70s. And when I go into this church, I notice how if I sit somewhere near them, they will move. Or if they don't move, when the time when you shake hands to people, it's like they try not to look. And then with the people hands they shake, they hurry up and pull out. You can be discreet about pulling out hand sanitizer, but they just laugh. What are you teaching your kids for real? Every time I see them, I just don't even go. And sometimes I purposely go with it just to make sure it's not me. But I go with it sometimes, but I try not to. But it's amazing how people are teaching their kids now these days. It's sad. And every time I see them, I be like, here they go, boy. Only thing I can do, like I told my mom about it, she said, pray on them. I just pray on them. Because I feel bad and sorry for the kids, how they raising those kids to be. So,
well,
and that's how those kids ended up in the school system. When we have those kids blowing up the school, bomb threats, all kinds of nonsense, killings in the school, because it's how the parents raise their kids from day one. And see, like Nick, he don't really have a clue because he never really been in no situation like that. We not raising them like that. So, but you have people actually raising them.
There was a child that looks to have been my year old, full clan outfit, including the hood, full clan outfit. And they took a picture of the little boy walking up to a police officer who was black, who had the riot gear, had the shield,
Mm-hmm.
And how you're not born hating anybody. You're not born hating anybody or anything. You hate naps when you're a kid.
Mm-hmm.
You hate nap time. You don't want to take a bath. These are the things you hate as a child, but this was a 1-year-old child who now will grow up and in the future see this picture of themselves and wonder if they're not a Klansman, why their parents did it to them, and if they are, they will revel in the fact that even as an infant they were a part of the Klan. The reality is and I'm gonna make this quick and end it, because no matter what we say, whatever's gonna happen is gonna happen. But it saddens me that, and I'm biracial. My father's white, my mother's white. It saddens me that we have to continuously have these conversations year after year after year. I'm 50 years old and I lived in the South. I lived in Alabama. And trust me when I tell you, the conversation now is exactly as it was back then.
Yep, in Louisiana it's the same thing.
And my grandmother was there when they had the bus boycott in Montgomery, Alabama. My grandmother and my grandfather were there when they walked the bridge in Selma. And the only difference is that the young people today are not doing that. That's it. What caused that is still happening. And it's happening worse now because of technology. You can harass somebody and never leave the comfort of your couch.
Mm-hmm.
You can be the best bigot ever because you have a tablet and a smartphone.
Let's close this out. Nick,
This is
take us out, Nick.
our boy. And I promise you, everything you love, this is not what y'all want to mess with. See that right there? Put your face in the camera. Look at the camera. Show me your face. See that face? Don't put it. Burn that face into your memory. This ain't what you want to mess with. So go and finish that.
Well, that was the end of this video. Y'all like, subscribe, press that notification bell, and comment down below.
Share our video, and we out.
Peace.
Damn, Missy Mari got